Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here. Today I'm down here at Fort Fisher at the end of Pleasure Island, just below Curie Beach, Carolina Beach. And we're just going to kind of peruse around the vicinity here at Fort Fisher, historic site. And they have a little bit of construction going on across the street. They're actually building a new site for like a museum. It's like a two-story instead of the one-story that used to previously everyone used. We're going to go kind of do a construction update on that. We're going to make our way down here to the Dune Ridge condos. Check out the sandbags that they got piled up in front of the Dune Ridge condos to protect them from the eroding beaches. The water, you know, is kind of getting ever so much closer to the Dune Ridge condos. Really don't know what they're going to do long term with that. They've been trying to protect those condos for quite some time now. So, and all that being said, we're also going to make our way down a little bit further. Everything is Fort Fisher today, so we might even ride down and check out the Fort Fisher Aquarium area, kind of just show you where it's at. If you've never been there before, it's a really cool aquarium to walk through and look at all different kind of species of fish and things like that. A lot of educational purposes there for grown-ups and children alike. Really cool. And then we will actually end our video down past the Fort Fisher Ferry at the mailbox. I want to see if the mailbox on the sand dune sounds a little bit hokey, doesn't it? Yes, there is a mailbox down there on top of a sand dune that people put notes in for other people to read. We're going to see if that thing is still standing. Sometimes over time it gets knocked down or the mailbox gets damaged or whatnot, and it takes them a while and they put a new one up. So we will actually end our vlog down there. There's actually a very beautiful view down there too for anyone who likes to take really nice pictures. We definitely stop the video right there and I will show you that great picture spot. Okay, let's continue on with our walk. Thank you for joining me today. Really appreciate it. This coffee's really good. I love this area right here, these trees. These are some of the coolest trees. I mean, for real. Just how they lean back the way they do, because they've been here forever, number one. And I guess the sea breeze or the winds from the ocean as they've grown over the years have just made them kind of lean back toward the road. And it's pretty cool. And this is a great place. You'll see a lot of people in the warmer months, it's spring going into summer. They love to come down here and take pictures in the evening because the sun is actually setting right over this way, and the sun glare kind of bleeds through the trees, and it really makes for an awesome looking picture. Funny little story about this brush, this real thick stuff right here. I don't even know what you call it, but it's a cool little cave in there. It's like a canopy, you know. It's like hollow in the inside, more or less. You can walk around pretty easily. I used to love coming up here as a kid. And I would actually, there's like a little tunnel. I'll show you the entrance. I don't know if we're going to go in today or not, because who knows who's hanging out in there, staying out of the elements, you know. But right there is one of the entrances to it. You can actually walk right down in there, and it kind of opens up. And see, you got to be kind of small to sneak down in there, but yeah, I've been in there before in other vlogs I've done, but I ain't going in there today. I'm kind of limited on time this morning, but I always show that to you. I used to call it the Bat Cave when I was a kid. I was a huge fan of Batman. And right here is another entrance. I don't know, maybe we can take a little gander, and you can tell a lot of people use it. Check it out. They keep it kind of trimmed. This is what it looks like. You got to get down kind of low, but as you walk back through there, it does open up. I ain't gonna go all the way back through there, but I do want to kind of just show it to you. You can see back there where it's starting to open up right there. But yeah, pretty cool. Have like some kites. Somebody lost their kite that blew up in the top of that like canopy brush. That's sad. As we move so much closer to the condos now, we're actually going to walk right out here on the beach, on the oceanfront side of these condominiums, and look at the damage. Let's see, is the sandbag still in place? Have they done anything else to them to protect them from the ocean and the elements? You know, I did a video back before Christmas, or probably in the fall. It's probably there in October. I went up to North Topsail Island, and on the north end of North Topsail Island, and I was astonished at the shape that their beach is in. Those homes on that oceanfront up there are totally battling the elements. You can see where the water has been bashing up against the front of the homes. Some of the homes are abandoned. It's really bad. Doesn't look much better over here, as we do see the sandbags. This is the same kind of sandbags that I seen over there at North Topsail Island that we're looking at right here along the Dune Ridge condos. So that's what it looks like down here. This is the condos here at Fort Fisher. I don't really understand why they can't do a beach nourishment plan here. I don't know what the reason is, but they obviously refuse to do it for whatever reason. And at some point in time, these poor condos are looks like they're gonna bite the dust. It's kind of sad, but the ocean wins every time, right? Mother Nature. Kind of hard to beat her. She proves that time and time again, that's for sure. All right, we're going to make our way back down through here and cross the road over to the construction area. Give you a little construction update on what's happening over there at the Fort Fisher Historic Site. All right, here we go. We are walking, making the right-hand turn, leaving the oceanfront area now. We're going to walk across the street over here to the Fort Fisher Historic Site. Really nice area over here to walk, by the way. Isn't that awesome? These trees are amazing. I don't know what kind of trees they are, but they're just so awesome. Look at that back there. It's really, really cool, really nice. We'll walk across this crosswalk right here. Hopefully, it's a little bit warmer over here because there won't be so much of that sea breeze coming off that ocean. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, here we are. This is the newest building. Look at that thing. And there it is. Look how large that building is. Is that not unbelievable? Look at the architecture here on the side, like facing the ocean. I didn't, you know, when I'm driving down through here, I never noticed or realized it was shaped quite like that. That is so wild. This thing is going to be really big. And I imagine it's going to be very nice on the inside, it being like a 2-story building. Right here to the left, you can see the old building. So look at the upgrade and difference. That is so neat. So right here we have the old Fort Fisher building, and then over here is the new grand building. That thing is so cool looking. Really, really nice. All right, here we are. We're kind of around here on the back side. As you see, you have quite a few paths that kind of go around these big mountainous hills back here, which is the fort itself. This is, if you did not know, this is an old Civil War fort that was a big deal back in the Civil War. I'm not up on my Civil War history at the moment, so I'm not even going to pretend to talk like I know what I'm talking about. You know, like specifically what happened here. But it is a really cool place to come if you want to learn some of that stuff. And I have been here before in the past. Me and my dad used to come here, and we would talk about it and go read all these little placards and stuff, but that's been many moons ago. And right here in front of us, we're going to keep walking this pathway, and we're going to make our way. You see that body of water right there? That's actually the Cape Fear River. And right across the way there is a place called Sunny Point. Cool little story that goes along with Sunny Point. We make it down there, I'll tell you about a little bit of little information that I know. I think it's pretty cool. All right. Have to kind of investigate something. As we're walking along, I noticed this path right here. Look at that path. Right through that little muddy marsh and on out there. So you wonder what made that, because that is not normally there. I don't know if something's going through in that gap over there in the fence line or what that is. But it is some kind of path or trail. Maybe deer. Maybe deer's going in there. There's a lot of deer down here in this area, so that very well could be what's happening. Because I think it's too chilly and too cold for the gators to be doing that. All right, we have made it down here to the waterfront area. As we look across the way there, and you see those ginormous cranes, those big red cranes, that is Sunny Point. And I've always been told that is where the United States military offloads some of their rockets and artillery and things like that, load them up on ships, and take them wherever our U.S. forces are. The weird thing is, I've never been out here and seen anything sitting over there next to those cranes. But I have always been told that. It's kind of a secrecy thing, I guess, but they're pretty good about doing it. Maybe they do it at night where you just don't see them, right? But I always thought that was a cool little story. Actually, I learned that, or the person that told me that was a retired military guy who worked over here on one of the ferries at Fort Fisher Ferry. I asked him one time, it was an older gentleman, and I asked him what that was, and that's what he told me. And I've heard that a handful of other times from different locals that's lived here for many, many years. All right, now we made our way over here to the backside of these little mountains, these hills. And I don't know on a regular operating day if they open these up, but used to, when I was a kid, probably a teenager, you used to be able to walk inside these like bunkers, which was really cool. I don't know if they let you do that anymore. I've not been here in a while to do it. But yeah, right here's where you would go. You just walk right in, and there's a door right there. And that's where you would enter. And I always thought that was kind of cool, you know. Remind me, you know, we used to play fort and stuff like that when I was a kid. Me and my friends, we would, as we walk up these steps right here, me and my friends would go off into the woods. I would hijack my dad's tools, some of his wood. My dad loved to do like woodwork. And I would take all his, like as much as scrap wood as I could find. And we'd go down in the woods, me and my buddies, and we would build our own fort or make a tree house or something, you know. We get some hammers and nails. We go down there and just construct some crazy thing. Luckily, we didn't break our neck, you know, climbing around on that stuff because we were young. But back then, it was a different time than it is now. That's for sure. Look at that view out there. Very pretty. But as I was saying, back then it was such a different era where kids played outside more. And we had an imagination, that's for sure. Some of the stuff we would build and be thinking about and dreaming of was much different than what kids do today. So that was kind of my childhood, playing outdoors, building tree houses, forts, playing in creeks. That was a big thing. Loved playing in creeks. There was something about magical to me about a creek. It's not that magical no more. But when I was a youngster, definitely going outside and playing in creeks. And then as I got older in my teen years, I really got into dirt bikes. And have a lot of good memories, man. I love dirt bike riding. Got into racing a little bit for a few years till my dad said that's way too expensive. We can't do that. But there for a while, man, racing dirt bikes was a thing. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that a lot. I was into supercross racing and all that type of stuff. I don't know how I just derailed this whole video from Fort Fisher historic stuff to now I'm telling you about my childhood and racing dirt bikes in the foothills of North Carolina. All right, this here is a awesome spot. This is a spot you will see a lot of people take a photo or two. Yeah, graduation pictures, wedding photos. Heck, wedding photos, nothing. They actually have weddings out here. We're going to walk over here at these trees. I'm going to show you these trees over here. And they have weddings out here in the warmer months. It's beautiful out here. Absolutely stunning. And this right here is the area right beneath these trees where you will see a wedding every once in a while. Right there in that opening, actually. And just for a fun fact, if you do come out here in the summertime especially, and you have a dog or you have kids or anything, just a word of advice. Do not let them like go down here along this this swampy area or like the marsh area, because I can't remember when it was, how many years ago it was. I'm gonna say it's been a minute. It's been probably 10 years ago, but one of the largest alligators I have ever seen was dragged up this hill right here. I mean, he was huge. And I don't know how long he was. Most of the gators around here are, 8 foot, 7 foot. This thing was bigger than that. And they drug him. They actually had a truck or a vehicle like parked right up here on the pathway, the animal control people. And they drug that thing up here and dumped him in the back of the truck. Had him like kind of hog-tied, noosed up. His mouth was noosed up. So, but yeah, if that thing would have ever got after somebody, that would make a bad day. That's for sure. So just be, a lot of people, I think when they come down here to the coast and you're in North Carolina, I don't think they always, the first thing that pops in their mind is not alligators. You think alligators, you're thinking like Florida, Georgia, New Orleans. But yeah, here in the Carolinas, man, we have our fair share. South Carolina too, man. We have our fair share of gators. And I just want everybody to be safe. And so when I have opportunity to call that out, let you know that, yeah, it's a thing. Okay, so now I'm going to head across the road. And we're going to head a little bit further south, down to the Fort Fisher Aquarium, kind of look at that area down there, then make our way to the very end of the island and check out the mailbox, see if it's still operational. All right, we made it back out here to the waterfront area. Still very blustery, very cool and chilly. Still have my coffee cup. I couldn't find one trash can down here, so guess I'm just gonna have to go put up my truck as we drive down toward the Fort Fisher Aquarium. And here we go. We're gonna pull out here on 421 and make our way over here to the Fort Fisher Aquarium. And right here we're going to take a left, as you see the signage right there, Fort Fisher Aquarium left. Pull right in, and we're also going to drive by the Fort Fisher recreation area, which is a great place to go and park. Free parking down here in the summer. Carolina Beach charges parking. Curie Beach, unfortunately, now for the last year or so, they've been charging for parking. So if you come early, you can come down here and park at the Fort Fisher recreation area right here. And really cool because they have nice bathrooms here, changing area. They have areas over here where you can grill out and cook. You see those tents and the picnic tables. So all those picnic tables has a grill. So you can bring some charcoal, do a little bit of cooking. You got a nice little, it's just a nice area. They have lifeguards posted, so you can feel safe and swim all at the same time, which is a great thing. As we drive a little bit further down, this is where you go to the Fort Fisher Aquarium, which unfortunately, for some reason, they still require you to have a reservation to come down here to the aquarium. And I'm gonna tell you something, that boggles my brain why this is still a thing. I mean, in 2020, 2021, fine, I get it. But right there, you have to, that's what these signs actually say they have posted. You need a reservation. And this is the parking lot for the aquarium. Right over there to the left is the entrance. But as you can see, the parking lot is not exactly full. So why do you need a reservation? I mean, for years it never needed a reservation, but now they want you to have a reservation. And I hate to be one to harp on that, but it's just very curious. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go over here and park, and I'm just gonna double check. I'm gonna walk up and ask them about it and ask them, see if I can talk to anybody. They had a ticket window back in the day, and yeah, so we're gonna go check that out real quick. Yeah, and right here we are. This is what you're gonna find when you arrive. Didn't secure your reservation in advance. Right here is your QR code. You can scan that. They say it's easy as 1, 2, 3, which is, I think it is very easy. I've been on the website, but it's still kind of weird, because what if you're somebody like my mother who is not exactly a tech savvy person, who don't even own a smartphone? She still likes her flip phone. She's not into all the internet, QR code scanning stuff. So when she arrives, what does she do? She just don't get to go in, I guess, because she's who she is. I just think that's kind of bad, you know, for business. But this right here is a very popular photo opportunity right here in front of these fish. You'll see a lot of people on Instagram and stuff like that when they come down here. I always take a selfie right here. All right, so I just went up to the ticket booth and spoke to a very nice young lady and asked her about, like, hey, if my mother, you know, I put that scenario together, like my mom comes down here, she stays at my place or whatever, and she wants to come down here to the Fort Fisher Aquarium. If I'm not available to be with her, can she come down and still purchase a ticket? And she said, well, in the summer months, she said they normally sell out here at the aquarium due to understaffing. So I guess they can only put so many tickets available per day. So that sheds a little bit more light on why the reservation system is still in place. And but she said, yeah, she said, if they're not sold out, she said, you can still come here and they can sell a ticket. They have like a help desk window that you can go to, and they will go online for you and kind of reserve your spot for you. And then you can go in, and they can kind of help walk you through if you're not tech savvy or whatnot, which I think is really cool. Sometimes it's good to ask. She said in the wintertime, like a day like today, you could definitely probably come up and just walk up, and they could help you, and they could get you in the door somehow. So that's kind of good to hear, you know, because it's kind of a bummer. I know we came down, my mom was here back in the fall and I actually came down here with her, and they had the signs, they actually said sold out. Like we couldn't even get in. That kind of bummed my mom out. So this summer or spring, whenever she comes down, I'm definitely going to try to make it happen. Be a good son, try to help her get in there, and we do a little walkthrough. Have like a little snack bar at the end with like hot dogs and foods and French fries and stuff, and a little gift shop area. So really cool. So maybe that's a future video idea. It's going through the Fort Fisher Aquarium. Make I walk everybody through it. That way, if you've never been before, kind of show you how the process works. Okay, let's go check out that mailbox now. But I'm glad I asked. It's always good to ask. All right, my friends, we have made it down here to the end of the world. Just kidding, it's not really the end of the world, but this is the end of the road. This is the end of 421. As you see people, you can park over here, bring your boats. They got a boat launch over here. But if you walk this path right next to this North Carolina Historic Site sign here at Fort Fisher State Park, we walk right out here. This is one of the places I enjoy coming for several reasons. Back when I used to do quite a bit of fishing, I used to like coming out here in the evening or early in the morning and doing some fishing. Matter of fact, we might take a minute and walk over here to the little fishing spot I used to go to. But first, we're actually going to walk right up this sand hill here. You see that crazy looking tree up there? That is one of the best places to go take pictures here. And that's also the location of the secret mailbox. All right, we made it up here to the top of the sand hill. Have a really nice 360 view right out here in front of us. That is Zeke's Island, way over there on that horizon. And believe it or not, yours truly, I used to walk out this pathway right here at low tide, of course, and walk all the way across there, all the way to Zeke's Island. That little walkway used to extend that far. This day and time, I don't know if it's safe to do it or not. They did have a sign at one time saying, you know, from the Army, saying do not trespass, do not go out there. But because you can walk out there at low tide, and if you stay over there too long, high tide happens and then you're trapped, you know, so that's not good. Unless you take water or food with you, there ain't nothing over there. So it's kind of funny. But anywho, right here is an awesome spot for your pictures, because this tree, look at it. Look at the root system on this thing. Now, I have definitely documented this tree in the past videos, but maybe you didn't see that video. Who knows? But this is it. Look at that crazy root. Look at that. Is that not insane? That is so crazy. Some people are probably not very impressed by this tree, but you know what? Sometimes it's the small things that impress me. So how this works is you will see people come up here and they will actually like lean up against this root or sit on this root with their girlfriend or wife or whatever, and the guy be down here like with his arm around her hip taking a picture or two. And then as you face this direction in the evening hours at sunset, the sun's going to set right across the river there. And it is gorgeous. I mean, it's so beautiful. And I've actually made a video about that too. So if you've never seen my sunset video here, definitely might want to check that out. And don't worry, if you missed it, I'm sure I'll make another one. Summertime ain't that far away. We're making some more beautiful sunset videos here at the south end of Pleasure Island. Off in the distance, I can see the Fort Fisher Southport Ferry cruising along, bringing some cars over. Kind of cool. All right, let's turn around and go over here and check out that. You see that right there? That's right. That's a mailbox. And here is the mailbox. Mailbox is having a rough time, I think. It was a really good idea to put this here for people to have fun with, but it does have pen and pencil inside, some paper if you'd like to write a note. Unfortunately, the door on this mailbox has disappeared. Somebody took it or it broke or whatever. A lot of litter back there, which is kind of sad. Wish people wouldn't do that. Look at this whole pen right here. I'm going to set that right there. But so this mailbox, I think it's been here for, I don't know, maybe 2 years, something like that. I know I just did a video over at Wrightsville Beach here recently. They have like 2 or 3 mailboxes over there in front of the Shell Island Resort. As I'm all backlit, sorry about that. Their mailbox is in way better shape than that one. We have a little bit further to walk. Show you my little fishing area I used to go to. And then we're going to end this mamma jamma. Thanks for hanging in there this morning. It's starting to feel good. Starting to warm up out here. That sun beating down really feels nice right now. This is the perfect time in the morning to get out and kind of enjoy the area. Yeah, it's good stuff. You can see right over here to the right of me, there's like a little beach area. And this here's kind of the area where I used to pretty much fish. I like fishing right here in this spot at low tide. I'm not really into high tide down here all that much, but at low tide, I used to like coming out here and doing some fishing out here on this little beach. Really good spot. I always had a lot of luck out here. I used to bring my buddy Lane with me when he shows up, which I think he's going to start coming down a little bit more since he lives in Camp Lejeune area now. So he's closer, so we can get together a little bit more. We got together a little bit last summer and done some bodyboarding. But all this area right here is a good spot to do some fishing. As we see right there on the horizon, you can see the Fort Fisher Ferry, Southport Ferry, making his way across the very choppy waters today because of the wind of the Cape Fear River. Very choppy waters. Right here ahead of us is the pathway that I was referring to earlier, where you can walk over to Zeke's Island. Now, I'm not telling you to walk over to Zeke's Island. At one time, you could safely, it was a little sketchy, but you could cross over to Zeke's Island via this pathway. And then at some point in time, I can't remember what year it was, last time I walked over there was probably, man, 2016, something like that. Used to be a sign right here that told people not to travel any further out the old pathway as you walked over to Zeke's Island during low tide. That is a day that is, I don't think people do that anymore. So there's a lot of safety concerns. As you've seen, that is pretty wore out looking pathway there. And believe it or not, it actually gets worse than that as you proceed across. So there are even bigger, deeper gaps than what you're seeing right there. I did have to change back over to my Canon G7X due to my Insta360 camera battery just crapped out on me right. I've done this closing of this video now twice, or 1.5. I got about halfway through it and it just said boop, it went out, dead. I was looking at it and it was like, it's getting closer. I was like, it's gonna make it. Nah, it didn't make it, unfortunately. But that was kind of the plan today. I wanted to push that camera. I never turned it off. So it lasted over an hour of continuous, like, power on video and never let it go to sleep. I turned that off. So hopefully the footage turns out really good. The audio is what I was really testing today with this wind. So thank you so much. Let me put in the comment section down below what you thought about the video today, quality wise, like the you know, the picture, the sound, things like that. Really curious to hear y'all's feedback on it. So that will conclude my video today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing. You never know where I'm going to go or what I'm going to show, as I like to say. And I'm all done. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's content. As always, put some comments down below. I love reading them, sharing your stories, thoughts, whatever. Love reading them. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate all the support. A lot of you guys are new to the channel. We picked up quite a big wad of subscribers off that Dale Earnhardt video that I put out about a week and a half ago. And thank you so much for all the support. Man, I love you guys. Y'all are awesome. Y'all killing it. Y'all kept me busy in that comment section down below. I mean, it was a lot of comments. I ain't used to that. So thanks so much once again. I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, friends, and I will see you in our next adventure. Y'all stay safe out there, and I hope to see you again soon. If you subscribe, I'm pretty sure I will see you again soon.